Inflation is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services rises over time, leading to a decrease in the purchasing power of money. As inflation increases, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. It's measured using indices like the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, and is expressed as an annual percentage. Central banks target moderate inflation to ensure stable economic growth. Causes of inflation. Inflation arises from several key factors interacting complexly. Demand pull inflation occurs when demand exceeds supply, pushing prices up. This happens in booming economies with increased spending power. Cost push inflation. It occurs when production costs rise, forcing businesses to increase prices to maintain profits. This often results from higher raw material, wage, or energy costs. Monetary inflation. When money supply grows faster than output, prices rise. Built-in inflation, also known as the wage price spiral, occurs when workers demand higher wages and businesses raise prices to cover these wages, creating a cycle of inflation. The post-war inflation in the 1940s. After World War II, many countries experienced significant inflation, pent-up demand from consumers, massive government spending on reconstruction, a spike in commodity prices. Governments adopted tighter monetary policies. Impact of inflation on consumers decreased purchasing power. As prices rise, money buys fewer goods, reducing real incomes. Inflation erodes savings as future purchasing power diminishes. On businesses, higher costs. Rising input costs squeeze profit margins unless passed to consumers. Uncertainty. Inflation creates uncertainty for long-term planning, making forecasting costs and revenues harder. On the economy, interest rates. Central banks may raise interest rates to curb inflation, slowing investment and growth. Redistribution of wealth. Inflation hurts savers, benefits borrowers as debt value decreases over time. The 1970s inflation crisis. The 1970s saw one of the most notable inflationary periods. Expansionary monetary policies and two major oil shocks triggered prolonged high inflation. Inflation rates hit double digits, eroding purchasing power. This era taught the importance of controlling inflation without stifling growth. Solutions in modern perspectives. Central banks combat inflation by raising interest rates. Fiscal austerity reduces government spending. Balanced policies prevent economic stagnation. Why inflation is feared. Inflation erodes incomes, reduces savings, and increases business costs. Unchecked, it can lead to hyperinflation and collapse.